Of course it's me, Protectorio. I'm back as your guide, firing off the questions that are probably already popping into your head.
Exactly. And here's Reddy, our energetic red blood cell, always upbeat, always on the move, delivering oxygen to every cell in the body. And this is Blue, the cool return specialist. He collects the carbon dioxide the cells want to get rid of and reliably brings it back to the lungs. Let's take a quick recap. In part 1, we learned that arteries carry blood away from the heart to the body. Veins, on the other hand, bring the blood back to the heart. And here's the vascular system once again as a whole. We already know the arteries shown in red and the veins shown in blue. But how do they communicate with each other? Exactly back there, remember?
Whoa! And this thing here in the middle, what's that all about?
Those are the capillaries, dear Protectorio, a very special part of the vascular system. Why? Because they're the tiniest blood vessels in the whole body, so narrow that only one blood cell can squeeze through at a time. Right now, we're on the arterial side of the capillaries, like a narrow one-way street. And now, we've crossed over to the venous side, the way back home. Here you can see the blood flow. And the best part, the capillaries are semi-permeable, meaning they're only half permeable. Imagine them like a clever bouncer or a fine little sieve. They only let through what's really important. Oxygen, O2, nutrients, and water are allowed to pass through, straight to the cells. Carbon dioxide, CO2, and waste products can pass out, back into the blood.
But big molecules like proteins or whole blood cells? No chance, they're way too big to fit through and have to take other routes.
All right, that was the capillary cycle. All making sense so far, Protectorio.
Oh, right. Without capillaries, there'd be no exchange at all. They bring every cell what it needs and take away what it doesn't. Small, but essential for life.
Here you can see, for example, how the erythrocytes coming from the larger arteries slowly make their way into the arteriolar part of the capillaries. Arterioles are the tiniest branches of the arteries, and you can spot them right here, in the middle of the capillary system. And here you can see a section from the venous side of the capillaries. These tiniest veins are called venules.
Hey, there are red and blue erythrocytes here. Where on earth did I end up?
Now you're in the middle section of the capillary system. This is where the oxygen-rich and oxygen-poor blood start to mix.
Huh? Now there are only blue erythrocytes. What just happened?
Exactly, you've got it right. Here, the erythrocytes are already in the venules, more precisely, in the venous section of the capillaries. At this point, they've already delivered their oxygen to the cells and picked up carbon dioxide in return. Now it's time for their journey back, through ever larger veins, straight to the right atrium of the heart.
Hey, I'm Hardy. Wow, so that's what I really look like. Pretty amazing, right?
That's right, Hardy. And take a look here in this cross-section. You can clearly see the right atrium. From there, the blood flows straight through the pulmonary artery and on to the lungs. And the best part, in the lungs, the erythrocytes fill up on fresh oxygen, ready for the next round.
And I'm Arius. Up here, it's all about fresh air. I load up on oxygen and send it straight on full power for the whole body.
Arteries, arterioles, veins, venules, Whoa, slow down. Can you give me a quick overview of all these blood highways?
Sure thing. Take a look here. Protectorio. This gives you a little overview of the different sizes of blood vessels, but we'll take a closer look at those details together in another video. All right, dear Protectorio, back to your question. Why do the erythrocytes suddenly look blue in the veins? Take a look, a direct view into the lungs. You can see the two lung lobes right here. The right one is a bit larger and has 3 lobes, while the left one's a little smaller with only 2. Why's that? Because the heart's made itself nice and comfortable right in between. And take a look at this, the bronchial system. With all its fine branches, it looks just like an upside-down tree, only without leaves. Each of these branches gets smaller and finer, until, right at the very end, you find the tiny air sacs, the alveoli. And now things get really exciting. Welcome to the alveoli. Let's zoom in on the purple-marked area and go all the way down to the finest detail, the alveoli themselves. They're incredibly small, but they're the absolute stars of the lungs, because inside them, the most important job of all happens. Picture them like tiny balloons that fill up with air every time you breathe in. And now, Take a closer look. Protectorio. See this? Like a delicate net, the capillaries wrap around each alveolus. And right here, something truly amazing takes place. The great exchange. Oxygen in, carbon dioxide out.
Wow, I need my glasses for this. And they're only about 0.2 to 0.3 millimeters wide. That's like the size of a grain of sand.
Okay, let's go.
Hey, you're totally loaded with carbon dioxide and you're still laughing. And you, my red friend, what are you drinking there? Ha! Oxygen! No wonder you're bursting with energy.
Pay close attention. Now we're taking a really close look at this exchange. The erythrocytes glide right past the capillaries, like tiny boats pulling in at a gas station. So, the erythrocytes release the carbon dioxide they've collected and take in fresh oxygen. And that very same carbon dioxide is what you breathe out, while the oxygen sends the red blood cells, full of energy, back into the body.
The alveoli are your body's gas stations. The blood cells stop here to tank up on fresh fuel for every cell out there.
All right, that's it for today. Now we also know all about capillaries. So where are we heading next, dear Protectorio?
Next up, blood cells. Let's see what this crew is really made of. I'm going into relax mode now, mission complete. See you soon.